Okay, just to wrap up this part of the Combonator manual, I'm just going to show you the output window and how it's useful when you're in preflop mode. Now, by default, when you load up the Combonator, there will be no output window, and that's because it's not actually that useful. Normally we're just going to quickly set a preflop range, go into postflop mode, and then the output window shows. However, you can actually view the output window when you're in preflop mode, and you can do that by going to File, Toggle Output, and also the F2 key will toggle the display of that. And so now, and this is what we had in the previous video, just to previous videos to show you, this updates in real time as you make changes. So here you just get the number of combinations and the percentage, not too useful. There are a few other things. Well, you just got a chart view here, that's kind of nice, just a little pie chart or stacked bar chart, not super useful. What it's really useful for is outputting this preflop selection, because the Combonator does have quite a lot of tools for quickly selecting preflop things. So if you still want to use an equity calculator for doing, say, range versus range preflop calculations, you still might choose to use the Combonator to quickly select your range. And so we can select our range here, and then here on the right you have the output, and you can just copy this to the clipboard and then maybe paste it into whatever calculator you need. Exact combos will show you the exact hands rather than, say, 2 2 plus. It will break it down by every pair there, and again it'll work for partial selections. If we you'll start seeing some the individual combinations there if we have a partial selection. So this, you can do this manually by copying it to the clipboard. The alternative is you can go into Tools and you can export this range to an equity calculator. So in the options you can set your external equity calculator. The three options right now are Equilab, Slice and Poker Stove. So let's use Equilab here, and you can export either all selected hands in the grid or all unselected hands in the grid. So let's do selected and click export. It'll load up Equilab and it will stick it in as player 1. And this is what's particularly useful, is you can export multiple ranges, and to do that, the best way is just to copy and paste this in as player 2, and then go back to the Combonator, select another range here, export that. That goes in as player 1, and now we've quickly exported from the Combonator to your equity calculator. And because the Combonator has got some of these advanced features like custom rankings and save ranges and suit selection and stuff, you might find it useful just to use the Combonator for this, even if you're doing some kind of preflop equity calculation, and then off we go to Equilab and do some calculations. The only other tool that we have here, Preflop, is the history, so we can jump back in the history. This is more useful again for post-flop stuff, but you've got an audit of all the changes that you've made. So there you go, that wraps up part 1 of our manual, which is all the features that you got for preflop. In the next part of the manual we're going to be looking at some of the post-flop tools. Okay, thanks for listening.